Hey there. I know you're probably thinking this is a mad person sitting in front of a camera doing literally nothing, wearing a pair of sunglasses inside a room. Has she gone crazy? Is she totally off? I am a little bit off, but yeah, no. I just wanted to make a video because I see so many people struggling to make art, or I see so many people that want to make art but don't get the courage to make art. Pardon my sunglasses, but I love them. So I just decided, can I wear this for the duration of the whole video? Will you take my advice seriously if I wear them? Will you not dissect my appearances to what I say and try to, find interrelations, correlations? Okay, I'm done with the philosophical talk. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a recipe for producing art, although there is none. So, where do I start? How do I begin? Art is what we're talking about today. So this is not going to be a podcast. There is not going to be any guest on this show. This is just me and you and the door behind, if you can see. So yeah, make yourself at home and welcome to this cozy corner of the internet where I ramble about different things. Today's topic is art. After that long intro, all I wanted to say is that art is a very subjective process. It is not objective. And what do I mean by that? Look, science is objective. What is objective and what is subjective? Objective is something that is charted out, that is formulaic, that is very certain and safe. You know these are the ingredients. You know what to heat, when to heat, how much to heat. And you put those right ingredients in the right measurements, wait patiently for the right amount of time, and you are presented, voila, with the results. This is an objective phenomenon. Everything that we have been taught at school is very objective, in the sense that if you were given to read, for example, a biology book, you were told not to use your own intelligence or curiosity. You were told to simply mug up a few definitions. You were probably told to kind of memorize the location of organs in the human body, or you were not shown practicals. You were not encouraged to go out in the field and sit with the sun and look at things for yourself. You were just handed down certain theoretical concepts for you to idealize upon. You were not shown the practicality of it. And all the answers in a science paper for all the students are the same. They are the duplicate copies of one another. It is not so when it comes down to art. And when I talk about arts, I'm talking all kinds of arts. So be it books, be it writing poetry, be it writing music, be it composing a film, be it composing a short film, be it photography. Art, at the end of the day, is such a sublime and subjective process that it cannot be compared to anything else. In my opinion, I know this is a very controversial opinion, and I know a lot of people will have to say a lot of things even though they don't know anything about anything. But in my opinion, art is extremely difficult. It is more difficult than science. It is more difficult than maths, because there you're given a formula, but life is not a formulaic thing for the last time. Life is a mystery, and so is art. So when we sit down to compose art, There is no one book that will tell you how to produce good art, how to write a good poem, how to write a very enchanting and hooking couple of lines that will kind of hook my audience to the first two lines of the song, or how to paint a beautiful painting. So, Wordsworth said these lines, right? When asked, what is a poem? What composes a poem? He said, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions, recollected in solitude. Something on the lines of these. And I agree. I fully, completely agree. If it doesn't pour out of you, if it doesn't burst out of you, if it doesn't feel like you're going crazy if you don't write about it or talk about it or make a video about it or photograph yourself, if you don't do it, if it doesn't come pouring out of you, that means you are doing something fundamentally wrong. Then it is time to look at how you look at life. What is your perception or your perspective on life? And for one thing I can say, art, you will produce as good art as the depth to which you have gone down and met yourself. So the deeper you have met yourself, the better you produce art. The more soulful your art becomes, the more poetic, the more musical, the more fragrant, the more graceful, the more vibrant, the more enchanting and hooking your art becomes. You know what I'm saying? But the less you depend on your own intuitions and more on other people's opinions about you or the world around you, the more you are probably likely to produce very average, mid, extremely on the surface level kind of works, which is really not worth it. It's such a short life. It's better to burn fast and live fast and die young. It's very important that we have that kind of a worldview, because life is just so full of people who don't know what they're doing. I don't want to be one of them. When I produce art, it should come bursting out of me. It doesn't matter what form of art. I can just as well be making an Instagram reel, but I should be so lost in it that I should want to make more and more and more. Creativity is like water from a tap. If it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't come out, if the water doesn't flow, you can't force the water, you can't pull the water down from the tap. It's just about spinning the tap a little bit. That's all. And that spinning the tap is where you do your research. You meditate, you do sadhana, you become more and more loving, more compassionate. You go through tragic experiences, you learn from them, you shatter your heart. That is when you compose art. Trauma is such an important aspect. If you can consciously go through your trauma and if you can make it into art, it's the best way to enhance your artistic abilities. Of course, meditation is one end of the spectrum, trauma is the other end of the spectrum, but going through painful experiences should be a learning lesson. It should not be something that you fall down upon and you keep on complaining about it. Don't do that mistake. I see so many people just complaining away. Life is so full and complete, and life has given us so much, so that if the next breath does not happen, I cannot make it happen. Do you realize that? Do you realize the beauty of life, the glory of the human body? if you just realize that much deeply, I feel like you'll be able to accept everything around you and yourself more and more and more. The more you accept yourself, the more you accept everything around yourself. The more deeply you meet yourself. Sorry, so I was saying the more deeply you meet yourself, the more deeply you meet others. There's simply no way around it. It is so beautiful. So, 2 points about making art. The first is that you have to go through a lot of pain in order to, and experience it fully. Experience it unabashedly. Let it tear your heart. Let it tear your heart out. It's extremely important that you go through painful experiences in order to produce good quality art. And good quality art for me is something that makes me simply cry for no reason, or laugh for no reason, or be hysterical for no reason. So there'll be no reason, no logic, no rhyme for it all, but I should be sobbing by the end of it. Or it should make me lose myself in another world. That is the symptom that you have produced a very good quality poem or song or painting or dance piece or just anything in general. That is, it's like you should be less and less. God should be flowing through you more and more. So when God flows through you, your ego becomes less and less and less. And when your ego becomes less and less and less, the originality in your art just explodes like through the roof. So the 2 things which are primarily important for making art is knowing yourself better, deeper. Every day, try to know yourself a little bit more, whether it be through methods like journaling, meditation, breathing, pranayam, hatha yoga, anything, really. Listening to people like Osho. As you deepen your experience, your relationship with yourself, as you know yourself better, as your ego becomes lesser and lesser and lesser and lesser, the better the quality of the art that you produce. The more lyrical, the more poignant, it's beautiful. You produce art. And you produce art from your heart, not your mind. The mind, the brain, is supposed to do mechanical things, which robots might as well do. Like filling up your tax forms and whatever, filling up your income tax returns and kind of checking balance sheets and those kinds of stuff. That is for the mind. Mugging up is for the mind. The heart is illogical, and you must try and listen to your heart. Always, always, always intuition over intellect. That's the second point. And the third point is you must use your pain as a pathway to producing good art. You must use every experience, including especially your painful, heart-shattering experiences, as a pathway to making good art. I love you. Take care.